Hello and welcome to my League One Game Week 28 predictions. If you do like the League One predictions, don't forget to drop a like, share and subscribe and hit the notification bell while you're at it. Some big games this weekend, as there always is. In Sky Bet League One, race for playoff race and the relegation race from like 13th downwards is the relegation race. In League One, it is that tight at the moment. So let's just dive straight into my League One predictions for Game Week 28. So jumping straight into the games with tomorrow night's action as Lincoln City take on Burton Albion at 8 o'clock in Sky Bet League One tomorrow. Lincoln did draw away at Luton, kind of throwing that game away, didn't they? Away at Kenilworth Road. Back-to-back wins for Burton in all comps. They did beat Boreham Wood and beat Huddersfield at the weekend before losing through on the bouts prior to that. Lincoln unbeaten in their last 5. They've also won the last 2 head-to-heads against Burton. They've also scored 12 in their last 5 as well. They are very, very frequent scorers, but so are Burton with 8 in their last 5 as well. Last time they did play earlier in the season was 1-0 away win for Lincoln. Same in the EFL Cup this season as well. Burton did beat them back at their place, though, on the 22nd of February 2025. They do like a 1-0 away win here. Do Burton last 3 times they've been to the LNER? It has been by that scoreline. Scoreline 9 wins for Lincoln, 1 draw, 6 wins for Burton. Don't think that 1-0 win trend for Burton is going to continue here. I think Lincoln get over the line quite comfortably in this one. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Lincoln win. I think both teams do like to score a few goals. So, that is why I'm going to back a 4 goals in this one and Lincoln to win by 3-1. Straight into the 12:30 then, and Cardiff Stockport is what we are kicking off with, which is another absolutely brilliant game at 12:30 at the Cardiff City Stadium. 2-1 away with for Cardiff over Bradford. 3 wins on the trot for Stockport County over Huddersfield, Harrogate and Rotherham. That is in all competitions, as Harrogate would have been the Virtue Trophy, I would imagine. 3 wins out of the last 5 for Cardiff, beating Stevenage and Wigan and Bradford, and drawing at Leyton Orient and Wycombe away from home. Head-to-heads look like this. Well, only one head-to-head between the two sides, and that was a 1-1 draw. Cardiff still looking very good under Barry Murphy at the moment. First versus 4th in the table. Difficult one to call between these two here. I'm going to back Cardiff just because they're at home in this one. I'm going to go back at Cardiff 3-2. Home win for Cardiff City in this one over a Stockport side that don't look amazing at the moment. So, Cardiff to win by 3-2 over Stockport here. Huddersfield Bradford is another brilliant game at 12:30. There's a lot of brilliant games this weekend. This one starts at the Acu Stadium as Huddersfield take on Bradford. Huddersfield did lose away at Burton. They've sacked Lee Grant as well. He is out the door. Not sure who they're going to bring in. They might be managerless for this game with Huddersfield. Bradford did lose at home to Cardiff. Before that, they did get a nice 2-1 away win at Blackpool. Huddersfield beat Rotherham in the process there as well. From what I've been told, Lee Grant has been sacked. I think it just hasn't updated on here. Liam Manning is the new manager. There you go. That is a brilliant appointment for this division. Huddersfield can really kick on now. I've only just seen that here. That is a very good appointment. See if you can get them out of the league. Probably not quite championship ready, although they did get Bristol City in the playoffs. They just didn't get working with that Norwich side. We'll have to wait and see on that one. They take on a Bradford side that started to click. Huddersfield did lose this game at Bradford earlier in the season by 3-1. 2 wins for Huddersfield, 1 draw, 1 win for Bradford City. 3rd sit Bradford at the moment. 6th sit Huddersfield. I'm actually going to back the home side to get a new manager bounce, and it will be a 2-1 home Bradford win in this one for Huddersfield. They're going to get over the line against Bradford City in this one. Plymouth versus Luton is another one at 12:30. I'm not sure we've got 3 games on at 12:30. That doesn't usually happen. It's just the EFL wrecking games, I guess. Plymouth 3 wins on the trot in all competitions. Luton haven't won in their last 2, and they did lose to Swindon in the Virtue Trophy as well. Head-to-heads looking back on this one was last season. Was in the Championship. It was a 1-1 draw when they did play on the 19th of February earlier last year. 3-1 home win for Plymouth last time to play at their place. And earlier this season was a 3-2 away win for Plymouth over Luton on that occasion. 4 wins for Plymouth, 3 draws, 4 wins for Luton. Both sides have picked up in recent weeks, probably from what they were at the start of the season. Plymouth up to 14th now, Luton 7th. Plymouth still in that relegation battle. They're just on the right end of it at the moment. They will be looking to win this at Home Park, but that doesn't really convince me because they've been pretty crap at Home Park so far this season. I am going to back Plymouth Argyle, though, to win. No, I'm not. I'm not going to back a win. I'm going to back a Luton away win in this one. I'm going to back Luton to win this by 2-1 because Plymouth are crap at home and Tom Cleverley doesn't seem to know how to win a home game. If this was at Luton, I would give Plymouth the win, but I'm giving Luton the 2-1 away win here. Into the 3 o'clockers then, and Blackpool take on Northampton as the first one, and can Bailey Peacock-Farrell replicate his mistake at the weekend to do some more funny stuff? 4 losses on the trot for Blackpool at the moment, and in 3 in the league. They did lose away at Ipswich in the cup, but that was a decent performance. Absolutely massive game this is. 20th versus 21st. Both on 29 points, both on -7 goal difference. Blackpool are only ahead on goals scored, I think. Yeah, that is right, because they've conceded more than Northampton have. Northampton a bit more defensive under Kevin Nolan. Northampton did win this fixture back in September with a 1-0 home win at Sixfields. 5 wins for Blackpool, 1 draw, 4 wins for Northampton on this one. 20th versus 21st in the table. This is an absolute 6-pointer this early in the season as well. I know we're nowhere near the final day yet, but it could be an absolute groundbreaker. Blackpool are going to win this, though. I'm going to go for a 2-0 home Blackpool win. I think they've got to win this game, and I think they will by 2-0. And despite not winning in their last 3, I think they're going to win against Northampton by 2-0 here. Bolton Leyton Orient is next then at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Bolton are unbeaten in the last 2, only scored 1 goal in the last 2 though, or the last 3, sorry. They are quite defensively solid at the moment, you would have to say, under Stephen Schumacher. They don't concede many. Leyton Orient did beat Reading by 3-1 at the weekend. Good solid home win for Richie Wellards' side in that one. Head-to-heads look like this. 4 wins for Bolton, 1 draw, 2 wins for Leyton Orient. 1-1 draw between the sides on the 13th of September, later last year, I should say. At Bolton, it was a 2-1 home win last season. Bolton are pretty unstoppable at their place until it comes to the Virtue Trophy. Then they do struggle. I'm going to back Bolton to win this. I am going to go for a 2-1 home Bolton win. I think I'll go for what it was last season. I think it'd be a tight encounter, this one. And yeah, I can see Bolton just getting over the line here against Leyton Orient. Just over 88% of you aren't subscribed to the channel, so please do hit the subscribe button and leave a like and hit the notification bell. Doncaster versus Wigan is up next at the EcoPower Stadium. Doncaster surprisingly have had back-to-back wins against Fleetwood. Yes, it's in the Virtue Trophy, still a win, gets you momentum going, and then beating Wimbledon last time out. And could this kickstart Doncaster on a bit of a run? Maybe they need to get it if they are to get back out of the drop zone in League One at the moment. Wigan did beat Preston in the FA Cup, then did lose at home to Bolton in the local derby as well. 2 local derbies in a couple of games. Wigan did beat Doncaster 3-0 back in September. Doncaster have only won this game 2 times, 3 draws, 7 wins for Wigan. They've scored 9 in their last 5. Not only scored 9 in the last 5, that's quite a lot. Wigan only scored 4 in their last 5. They're quite low scorers. Wigan Athletic. I'm going to back a draw in this one. I'm going to back a 1-1 draw. I just don't see Doncaster getting over the line enough in this one over a Wigan side that don't convince me at the moment under Ryan Lowe, because they're way too inconsistent, and that is why I'm backing a 1-1 draw here. Bottom club, Port Vale take on Exeter City, and Port Vale do need to win this. Exeter will fancy their chances going to Vale Park and getting the job done. On the Mansfield did beat Port Vale 3-0. I've already spoken about John Brady going over to the fans. That's not a good way to start your reign. You've got to give him time as well. Exeter did beat Stevenage by 3-0. Perfect response to losing 10-1 to Manchester City in the FA Cup. Port Vale did beat Bolton in the Virtue Trophy. They beat Fleetwood in the FA Cup. They beat Blackpool in the league. It's been a decent run of results for Port Vale since Darren Moore has headed out the door. Earlier in the season, 2-0 away win for Port Vale, one of their few wins this season. 9 wins for Port Vale, 2 draws, 8 wins for Exeter overall in the head-to-heads. Last time they played each other at Vale Park. Vale Park was in League One. It was a 4-2 away win for Exeter on the 13th of April 2024. It's getting a bit ugly at Port Vale, and I'm going to back a 0-0 draw. I don't think there's going to be any goals in this one. I think it'd be too tight. AKG, when Port Vale need the win, I just think the crowd might be a bit silent, might be a bit shocked. I don't know. They won't make a bit of an atmosphere because it's so tense in that ground, and they will need to get results against a team that's probably in and around that relegation battle with you. Well, maybe not because they're too far away from Exeter at the moment, but still, it is a close game in terms of, well, Exeter probably still in that relegation dogfight with how close it is, but 0-0 here. Reading Barnsley is the next one, and Reading having a brilliant run of form before coming up trumps to Leyton Orient on Saturday afternoon. Barnsley did get their first win in a while over a Blackpool side that don't look particularly great. Well, David McGoldrick with the brace in that one. Bailey Pickett-Farrell gifting them a couple of goals. 15th versus 20th, 3 points separating the sides in the table, which is ridiculous. Reading will need to win this, you'd feel, if they are to get anywhere, well, a bit closer to safety. 3-2 Barnsley win last time out on the 13th of September 2025. Or no, Barnsley needs to get closer to safety, not Reading. What was I on about? Anyway, Barnsley 3-2 win in September. 8 wins for Reading, 8 draws, 5 wins for Barnsley. This could be any scoreline, let's be honest. Reading are usually okay at home. They beat Stockport at home, beat Burton at home, regardless of the competition. I think they were both league, though. Yeah, regardless of the competition, Reading are usually quite strong at home, and I'm going to back them to win this again. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Reading win in this one over a Barnsley side that don't convince me whatsoever at the moment. Or they're just too inconsistent. A bit like most teams in League One this season, from like 12th downwards. So, yeah, 1-0 to Reading in this one over Barnsley here. Rotherham, Wimbledon, and what is another absolutely crunch game in League One this weekend at the New York Stadium. Wimbledon lose this, you really feel that they will be getting relegated. But they've taken a Rotherham side that haven't won in 5 matches. They haven't won in 8 matches, I should say. They haven't kept a clean sheet in 11. They've only scored 3 in their last 5. Wimbledon a bit more score happy than they are. And if Rotherham do win this, Wimbledon, you might want to be looking at sacking your manager because, I mean, there's been problems there for the past couple of weeks. They did beat Leyton Orient, though. That might have been the Virtue Trophy, so that might not have been a relevant game. But anyway, they will need to win this, Wimbledon, to try and just get some points on the board. Oh, no, that was in the league, wasn't it? It was New Year's Day. What am I on about? Wimbledon did beat Rotherham back on the 30th of September 2025, 2-1 home winners that time, but it's a different Wimbledon and it's a different Rotherham. Well, I won't say it's a different Rotherham, it's kind of the same Rotherham. 8 wins for Rotherham, 1 draw, 2 wins for Wimbledon. Rotherham win this, Wimbledon needs to start looking over the shoulder. I'm going to back Rotherham to win this as well. I'm going to go for a 2-1 home Rotherham win. Some massive games in League One this weekend, and this is another one. And I'm going to back Rotherham to just get over the line by 2 goals to 1 to end that losing rut of 8 matches. Penultimate game now, and Stevenage take on Mansfield. Stevenage did draw against Bolton last night with one of their games in hand and failed to take advantage. Mansfield on absolutely flying form under Nigel Clough right now. 5 wins on the trot in all competitions. They are in this playoff race, you'd have to say. They can definitely get to Huddersfield. They're only 4 points off the playoffs now. Earlier in the season, it was a 1-1 draw against Stevenage. And then back at Stevenage last season was also a 1-1 draw. And then back at Mansfield was a 1-0 home win. Before that, 1-0 away Stevenage win, before that in 2024. 4 wins for Stevenage, 6 draws, 11 wins for Mansfield. Mansfield win this, they would go above Stevenage and they would start to cook. But the problem is that when they usually get into this position, Mansfield, they usually lose the next game, which I don't want to say is I don't want that to happen because I'd like Mansfield to get in a playoff place with Nigel Clough in charge, of course. Mansfield will win this. No, No, I don't know, actually. I don't know why I said Mansfield. I think it's another really tough one to call in League One. Stevenage win it, I think, narrowly 1-0, but it will be very tight. I think the Stevenage defence will just have enough to keep Mansfield at bay in this one, but Mansfield do like scoring goals, but I just can't see it in this one. I'm going to back Stevenage as their defence is pretty solid in this division. I'm going to back them by a 0-0 over Mansfield in this one. And the final game this week is Wickham taking on Peterborough United. Probably one of the lesser games that are taking place this weekend. Both kind of in a playoff place, you could say. Playoff battle, I should say. But yeah, it's one of the games that probably matters the least this weekend. Just because there's some other absolutely mental games going on. Wickham have scored 6 in their last 5. Peterborough scored 8 in their last 5. It's almost guaranteed a couple of goals. This one, 2-1 win for Peterborough over Wickham back earlier in September this year when Mike Dodds was still in charge of Peterborough. I think that was one of his final games. Mike Dodds still in charge of Wickham, not Peterborough. That was one of his final games, I know that much. Wickham 5 wins, four draws, and 4 wins for Posh in this one. Tough one to score, both sit around the middle of the table. I think it could be, I think it could have a few goals in, and I'm going to back a Desmond. I'm going to back a 2-2 draw for the final game in League One, and yeah, that is what I can see in this one, a 2-2 draw between Wickham and Peterborough. Thank you for watching my League One Game Week 28 predictions. If you did like the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell as well. Championship predictions will be tomorrow night. I might include the Premier League as well, as I am not around on Friday to record that, so do stay tuned for that as well. Yeah, I'll speak to you all on the next one.